Now you can call him King James. Now you can call him MVP because he rose above those finals demons of a year ago. He rose above these finals and took them over and personally took Kevin Durant out of the game and personally shredded a very good Oklahoma City defense and deserved the MVP of these finals. And I told you before the show and at the first of the show, I'm very happy for LeBron James. From my heart, I'm happy. I'm relieved for him. But I'm going to hark back to the first thing that came out of his mouth on ABC last night. It's about damn time. And I still say that over 9 long years and 3 regular season MVPs, my criticism wasn't overly harsh. It was always constructive and I think always accurate. And it all came to roost in these finals because I do think LeBron finally figured it out and concentrated on the things he does better than anyone in the game and quit trying to do the one thing that he does worst, which is shoot perimeter jump shots. Now, I went early in the show. You go now.
Well, my point is, you know, he did it, man. And I think that no matter how accurate your assessments were of him at the time, on this day, because you have been grilling him for so long, you owe it to him to omit the buts for today. I mean, when you think about what he went through, how many people have gone through that? Michael Jordan, we wanted him to get the title, okay? We wanted it bad. But he didn't take this much heat. Isaiah Thomas, we want him to get the title with the Bad Boys. But he didn't take this much heat. You have a lot of people. Julius Erving.
Was it unfair heat, though?
No, I never said it was. I never once accused it. I said it was embellished. I said it was embellished and excessive on your part at times. But I never said you were unfair in terms of inaccurate or whatever. I'm simply saying when somebody gives it up, and I'm not just going by the numbers, especially after Mark Cuban just finished telling us how meaningless they are when they weren't meaningless to him when he was reading those box scores. That's a story for another day. I will say this. I will say this to you. When you see what he has done consistently throughout his career, and you match it with his postseason production, they mirror the same. He is who he is. 28 to 30 points a game, 7 to 8 rebounds a game, 7 to 8 assists a game. From the moment he walked into this league to 9 years later, he has been a model of that consistency. Whatever his shortcomings were, they were. But he overcame them. And when he didn't overcome them over the stretch of 6 games, or 5 games rather, in an NBA Finals. He did it for a truncated 66-game regular season. He did it in the first round in 5 games against the New York Knicks. He did it in 6 games in the second round against the Indiana Pacers. He did it in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. And then he did it in 5 games against the Oklahoma City Thunder. He did it against Carmelo Anthony. He did it against a rough and rugged old school style team like the Indiana Pacers. He did it against Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen. And on the brink of elimination, he dropped 45. When they were in trouble in Indiana, he dropped 40 and 18. Okay? And now he comes to the NBA Finals, and he's going against unquestionably the greatest offensive player in the game. And Kevin Durant, 6'10", 7'5", wingspan, can pull up from 30. George Gervin, part 2, except a much better version. Okay? He did it. So if he did it, let it go. Because ultimately what I'm saying to you is that it ain't about you. I'm not questioning whether you were right or wrong. I'm saying, like you said, you're stubborn, Skip, and you're prideful. I'm saying swallow that on this day and leave it at he's King James. He's God.
I got to let Sally break the tie.
Break the tie, John.
I'm going to quote an American Mozart named Kanye West.
Very good.
And he said, everything I'm not makes me everything I am. And in this situation, he needed, and that sounds crazy, you need your kind of criticism. You need when Steve, now this is funny because Stephen would come in and write, and he'd walk in with that whole swagger and look at you and then Steve will do that to you. You got to understand, I don't care what Mark Cuban said. Guys feel that pressure. They can't go get their hair cut. It's to the point now guys have to have a haircut. Barbers come to their house because you go in the barber shop and they were like, you heard what they said about you in the paper. Everything is on TV, they're saying this. On the paper, they're
Can't avoid it.
You can't avoid it, and that is literally, even though I played in the game and I know exactly what was happening, you still hear outside the nuances that we don't pay attention to. So he needed all of you guys doing that kind of thing to literally make his game better. You said, yeah, he needs to shoot better. I bet you he went from shooting 500 jumpers a day to 1,500 jumpers a day. I bet you talked about, they said you got all this body and you want to pass when you get in the lane. I bet you he thought dunk first, pass second.
Yeah. Only thing I kept saying about him, nothing matters until he gets the chip. He's got to get the chip. You can't be celebrated like a king without a crown. You can't do that. It's bad for the game. You cannot have. I love it because I'm a fan of Carmelo Anthony. I'm a fan of Chris Paul, the player. I don't care how they feel about me. I love them and their game. I got news for you. I'm looking at their greatness, and I'm saying you're next. You're the next one on the list. You got to win, too, because, again, it's about being celebrated for the right reasons. I know you're a great talent. I know you can put up buckets. You say you want to be in a major market. You wanted to sit there and sign with CAA, get your endorsement dollars and all of this other stuff. Cool. Give me the chip. And LeBron James was holding it up because he was being celebrated so much that it was a license for others to be celebrated without the crown. Oh, yeah. Now that he's got the crown, they have to get it too, because that's what Jordan did. That's what Magic did. That's what Bird did. That's what Isaiah did. That's what Julius Erving did. Right. That's what they all did, because they knew. Old school, you were not letting them get away with being celebrated.
It was different too.
That's right.
Back in the day, it was, we got to win a championship. And then you get
there you go.
Right, yeah.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Somehow got put before horse.
That's right.